Hello everyone, this is David Uhlman. This is CEFS 501 Informed Consent Form. The consent form I chose for this discussion is Distance Counseling Consent Form. Since we are using technology and distance as a means to get an education, I thought it would be interesting to look at a consent form focused primarily on distance counseling. Dr. Carla Ivankovich is the consent form I found. Um, and in her consent form, she begins by stating that you must be 18 years of age to give consent. Um, in the state of Alabama, where I live, you only have to be 14, which I found that would be very interesting. Some of the things that she had in her consent form that were good, she explains the method of media use for her will be phone and Skype. Those will be the only two methods. Um, she explains she cannot guarantee resolution based on technology limitations or technology failure. She gives some reasons why the counseling may be interrupted, and I found something very interesting. She says that a terrorist attack might be a reason why they might lose connection, which I found very interesting because it's not something that happens a great deal here in Alabama. But she actually had that in her paragraph, so I thought that was kind of interesting. She explains she cannot guarantee success of counseling, and the client has the right to cancel at any time. She does not discuss her full rate, and she does explain that if counseling is interrupted due to technology and they're not able to reconnect, that the counselor will be billed for the full rate. Um, she gives emergency numbers, what to do in case of emergency. She also gives her pager number. Um, and she does something very interesting, I thought good. She states that she recognizes that the process of distance counseling differs from in-person counseling in that the full range of senses may not be readily expressible through electronic means. And I thought that was kind of neat that she put that in there, that this will be a different experience for you because you're not actually in her office. She goes in good detail in her consent form that she cannot guarantee confidentiality, that HIPAA cannot apply in this case because of the internet and the limitations that she will have on confidentiality. And she actually kind of places it on the client to make sure that they secure their end. And she gives some hints on what they should do and what they will agree to do. And one of those was that they shouldn't place her email address in their personal contacts, to not do that, that in case they may by accident send the information to someone else, which I thought was interesting. Now, the Alabama Board of Examiners in Counseling, or the ABEC, addresses distance counseling in section 255-X-11. And pretty much what I read, the standards are the same whether you're counseling in an office or you're counseling, someone across a different state. Alabama really doesn't. They just pretty much say that what standard for in-house counseling is the same for distance counseling. I did find something interesting, though, that I'll read it, that states that although the ABEC, Alabama Board of Examiners in Counseling, has not adopted Section H of the 2014 ACA Code of Ethics, the accompanying and then they give the attachment. They also give the ACA Code of Ethics in this article I read. Alabama hasn't adopted it, but they refer to it as a good source on how to make a consent form. The ACA Code of Ethics, Section H, deals with distance counseling. And in what I read, she did include a lot of things that are in the ACA, but she did leave out some important things that the ACA advises to put in consent forms for distance counseling. One is her credentials. She never addresses that. Another one is the actual physical location of her office, where she's at, where she's located. Secondly, and anticipated response time. She doesn't address that. She also did not address time zone differences, that was something that the ACA recommended to put in your consent form. And lastly, dealing with insurance, the possible denial of insurance based on this being distance counseling, that the insurance company may not, pay the bill for this. So she never addresses that. But overall, this is very interesting because I think distance counseling is something, a lot of people are going to, and it kind of gave me an understanding of that. Thank you.